There are quite a lot of confidence tricksters around, and from time to time I talk about scams that are common in Germany. In this video I'm going to be talking about fake police officers as part of a phone-based scam. I would expect that most of you would not be taken in by this one. In fact, I'm pretty sure that none of you would be. But you may have elderly relatives or neighbours who might become victims, so it is good to be aware of it. The victim gets a phone call from somebody claiming to be a police officer. This officer tells them that burglars are operating in the area, and so the police are going to send somebody around to take their valuables and cash into safekeeping. Now, I'm sure that everybody watching this video is thinking, that is so obviously a scam. Who on earth is going to fall for it? Unfortunately, people do fall for it. It may not be many, but for the criminals, just one success would make the whole thing worthwhile. Just to clarify this, the German police, and I'm pretty sure the same goes for police forces everywhere in the world, would never take away your valuables for safekeeping. The German police keep releasing statements saying exactly this, and unfortunately it seems necessary to do that. The scammers do their best to increase their success rate. They're not stupid. They deliberately target the elderly because the elderly are much more likely to have cash lying around the house, and they're more likely to fall for the scam. They do this by looking for likely targets in the telephone directory. They're looking for old-fashioned names like Heinz or Rosa, and also for short landline numbers. Why short phone numbers? German phone numbers don't have a fixed length. In fact, decades ago, when telephones were still relatively new, phone numbers could be quite short, as little as 4 or even 3 digits. This is a facsimile of a local telephone directory from the year 1950, and right on the front cover is an advert for a hat factory with a telephone number Carl 358. Only when phones became more common did numbers get longer, and even then existing numbers weren't changed, which means that if you have a short number, you've probably had it for a long time, and that means you're much more likely to be old. Another trick they have up their sleeve is caller ID spoofing, which is ridiculously easy to do. It's a very simple trick for a caller to disguise their phone number so that when they call you, what you see on caller ID is a fake number. What these people do is to spoof the police emergency number 110, sometimes in conjunction with the local area code. This adds an air of legitimacy. People who don't know how caller ID works or that it can be spoofed are likely to see the number and immediately recognize it as the number for the police. Predictably then, police forces have found it necessary to release statements saying that they would never call anybody from the emergency number. If the police ever do call you, it will be from the non-emergency number of the local station. So, although I don't expect that you will fall for this scam, you may know somebody who could be a potential victim. And if you notice that your local newspaper is reporting on this scam, that means that it's operating in your area. And then, if you know somebody who could be at risk, let them know about it. And also tell them that if they do get a call like this, they should immediately phone the real police. Now, I'm mentioning this because it's a scam that is currently operating in parts of Germany, but it could also be a thing in other countries as well. So be aware of it and take special care of people you know who could be vulnerable. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to send me a postcard, here's the address. And don't forget to visit my website and follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Also, if you'd like access to special bonus content and help with the costs of running this channel, please consider making a small monthly donation on Patreon.